I stood in my own living room when my son said it. Calmly. Almost proudly, "You shouldn't worry, Mother. Claire knows what's best for you now." The teacup shook in my hand. I set it down before it could spill. Aaron smiled at me like he'd just solved all my problems. Like he'd done me a favor. Beside him, Claire stood with her arms crossed, that perfect smile plastered on her face. "We've been talking," Aaron continued. "And we think it's time you let us handle things. The bills, the house stuff, all of it. You've done enough." I opened my mouth but nothing came out. Claire stepped forward. "Eleanor, you're not getting any younger. We just want to help." The way she said my name felt wrong. Too familiar. Too certain. "I'm managing fine," I said quietly. "Are you?" Claire tilted her head. "Because last month you forgot to pay the water bill." "I was at the doctor that week." "Exactly." Aaron cut me off gently. "You have a lot on your plate. Let us take some of it off." I looked at my son. Really looked at him. When did he start talking like this? When did he stop asking and start telling? "I don't need help," I said again, firmer this time. Claire laughed. Not mean, just dismissive. "Of course you do. Everyone does at your age." My age. I was 70. Not senile. Not helpless, but the way they looked at me made me feel both. Aaron sat down beside me on the couch. His hand covered mine. "Mom, Dad would want us to take care of you. He'd want you to be safe," and there it was. Henry's name. Used like a weapon. My throat tightened. "Your father trusted me to handle things." "Things were different then," Claire said. She walked over to the mantel and picked up a photo of Henry and me from our anniversary. She looked at it like it was just decoration. "The world's more complicated now. You need someone who understands modern systems." "I understand fine, do you?" She put the photo down, slightly crooked. "Because we found 3 unpaid notices in your mail last week." My face went hot. "You went through my mail?" "We had to," Aaron said quickly. "You weren't answering our calls." "I was gardening for 5 hours." I stared at him. 5 hours. Like that was a crime. Like I needed permission to spend an afternoon in my own yard. Claire sat down on the other side of me. I felt boxed in. Trapped between them. "Look," she said softly. "We're not trying to take over your life. We just want to make it easier. Let us handle the boring stuff so you can enjoy your time." It sounded reasonable. It sounded kind, but something in my chest screamed no. "I'll think about it," I said. "Think about it?" Claire's smile tightened. "Eleanor, we're not asking for much. Just let Aaron's name go on the accounts. That's it. You'll still have access to everything." "Then why does his name need to be there?" Silence. Aaron shifted beside me. "Mom, don't make this harder than it needs to be." Harder? Like I was the problem. Like wanting control over my own life was unreasonable. "I need time," I said. Claire stood up. "Fine. Take your time. But we're not going to watch you struggle when we can help." She walked toward the door, heels clicking on the hardwood Henry and I installed 30 years ago. Aaron stood too. He kissed my forehead like I was a child. "We'll talk again soon, okay?" Then they left. The door closed softly. No slam. No anger. Just that quiet, final click. I sat there for a long time. The house felt different. The sunlight looked the same, hitting the same photos on the same walls. But something had shifted. The warmth I'd always felt here, the warmth Henry and I built into every room, felt thinner now. Colder. I picked up my teacup. It had gone cold too. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing Aaron's voice. "Claire knows what's best for you now, not us. Not we'll figure it out together. Claire knows best." When did my son stop being mine and start being hers? I got up and walked to the window. The street was empty. Dark except for the street lamp Henry used to say made our house look like a painting. I pressed my hand against the glass. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked. A car passed. Life went on like nothing had changed, but everything had. Those few words Aaron spoke that afternoon would unravel everything Henry and I built together. I just didn't know it yet. 2 years earlier, everything was different. Henry was still alive. The house smelled like lilacs every spring. He'd plant them himself, dirty knees and all, humming that old song he could never remember the words to. Eleanor, he'd call from the kitchen. Come taste this. I'd walk in and find him stirring something on the stove, apron crooked, smile wide. It's just soup, Henry, best soup you'll ever have, and it was. Every time Aaron would visit every Sunday after church, he'd walk through that front door like he still lived here, kick off his shoes, and head straight for the fridge. Mom, you got any of that pie left? When have I not? Those were good days. Simple days. The kind you don't appreciate until they're gone. Then Henry had his heart attack. 3 minutes. That's how long it took for everything to change. 3 minutes between him kissing my forehead at breakfast and me screaming for help in the hallway. The funeral was packed. Henry knew everyone. And everyone loved him. After they lowered him into the ground, the house went quiet, not angry quiet. Not scary quiet, just empty. I'd wake up and reach for him. My hand would find cold sheets. I'd cook dinner and set 2 plates, then stare at the extra one until I put it away. Aaron tried to help. He'd call every day. Mom, you okay? I'm fine, sweetheart, you sure? I can come over. I'm fine, but I wasn't. Not really. The silence was heavy. Like something pressing down on my chest. But it wasn't cruel. It was just the kind of quiet love leaves behind when it goes. 6 months later, Aaron called with news. Mom, I met someone. My heart lifted. Tell me about her. Her name's Claire. She's amazing, Mom. Really smart. She works in real estate. I met her at the seminar thing last month. I could hear the smile in his voice. It had been so long since I'd heard him sound like that. When do I get to meet her? How about Sunday? That Sunday, Aaron brought Claire to the house. She stepped out of the car wearing a white blouse and dark jeans. Hair perfect. Makeup perfect. Smile perfect. Mrs. Wright, I've heard so much about you. She shook my hand firmly. Professional. Please, call me Eleanor. Eleanor. She said it like she was testing it. What a beautiful home, thank you. Henry and I bought it 30 years ago. She looked around the yard, at the lilacs starting to bloom, at the porch swing Henry built. You must be exhausted keeping up such a big house. I laughed it off. Oh, it keeps me busy, but something in her tone stuck with me. Not what she said. How she said it, like I was already failing. Like the house was too much for me. We went inside. I made tea. Claire sat at the kitchen table and smiled at everything. This is so charming, she said. Very, lived in. Lived in. Not cozy. Not warm. Lived in. Aaron didn't notice. He was watching her like she was the only person in the room. Claire's helping me look at investment properties, he said. She's teaching me so much, that's wonderful. I poured the tea. What kind of properties? Claire answered before he could. Residential mostly. Flipping houses. There's good money in it if you know what you're doing. She's amazing at it, Mom. You should see her work. I smiled. I'm sure she is, but that feeling stayed with me. That little voice in the back of my head whispering, something's off. I ignored it. Aaron seemed happy. That's what mattered. 3 months later, they got engaged. Aaron brought her back to tell me in person. He was glowing. Mom, we're getting married. I hugged him. I'm so happy for you, sweetheart. Claire stood there, ring glittering on her finger. I hope you'll help with the planning, Eleanor. I'd love your input, of course, but she never asked for my input. Not once. She planned everything herself. The venue. The flowers. The guest list. When I suggested inviting Henry's brother Samuel, she frowned. I thought we were keeping it small. He's family, of course. But we're trying to keep costs down. Aaron nodded along. Yeah, Mom. Let's keep it intimate. Samuel didn't come to the wedding. The ceremony was beautiful. Claire wore white. Aaron cried during the vows. I cried too. Afterward, at the reception, Claire pulled me aside. Thank you for raising such a wonderful man. He's easy to love, she smiled. I'll take good care of him. It should have sounded sweet. But the way she said it felt like a promise and a warning at the same time, like she was telling me, he's mine now. I told myself I was being paranoid. That grief was making me see things that weren't there. I told myself love was enough. That if Aaron was happy, nothing else mattered. But looking back now, I realize something. Love can make you blind. It can make you ignore the small cruelties. The tiny cuts that don't bleed right away. Claire's smiles hid ambition. Her kindness had a price, and I was too busy wanting Aaron to be happy to see it. By the time I did, it was almost too late. It started small. Claire came over one Tuesday morning with coffee and a smile. I thought I'd help you organize the kitchen, she said. If that's okay. Oh, you don't have to, I want to. She was already opening cabinets. Trust me, you'll love it. By the time she left, every dish was in a different place. The mugs Henry and I collected from every vacation we ever took were shoved in the back. Her new matching set sat front and center. Doesn't that look better? She asked. I nodded. But it didn't feel better. The next week, she showed up with a folder full of papers. Your bills are all over the place, Eleanor. Let me set up autopay for you. I've been paying my own bills for 50 years. I know. But this way you won't have to think about it. Modern life, right? She laughed. Just sign here and here. I signed. Within a month, I didn't even see the bills anymore. They went straight to Aaron's email. It's easier this way, Claire said when I asked. You don't need the stress, but I liked knowing where my money went. I liked writing checks. It made me feel like I was still handling things. Now I just felt sidelined. Then she started on the house. This recliner has seen better days, she said one afternoon, running her hand over Henry's chair. The leather was cracked. The armrest sagged. But it was his. It's fine, I said quickly. Eleanor, it's falling apart. Let me get you something nice. Something that actually supports your back. I don't want something new. She smiled like I was a child refusing vegetables. You'll feel different once you see what I picked up. 2 days later, a delivery truck pulled up. 2 men carried in a sleek gray chair that looked like it belonged in a magazine. Not my living room. Henry's recliner was already gone. Where is it? My voice came out sharper than I meant. I donated it, Claire said brightly. Someone will actually use it now. My chest felt tight. You should have asked me first. Why? It was junk. Eleanor. Aaron walked in carrying groceries. Whoa, nice chair. This is way better, Mom. I looked at him. At his easy smile. At how quickly he agreed with her. I liked the old one. You'll get used to this one, Claire said. She patted the armrest. Sit. Try it. I didn't sit. I walked out of the room before I said something I'd regret. That night, I cried in bed. Over a chair. Over a stupid, worn-out chair, but it wasn't really about the chair. The next month, Claire replaced the curtains. These are so outdated, she said, yanking down the cream drapes I'd picked out with Henry 20 years ago. We need something modern. Open. Light. She hung gray panels that didn't block the sun. Every morning, light poured into the living room so bright I had to squint. Doesn't it feel fresher? She asked. It felt wrong. She moved the bookshelf. Rearranged the photos on the mantel. Threw out Henry's old coffee mugs because they were chipped. Every time I walked into a room, something was different. Every time I said something, she'd smile and say, "Change is good, Eleanor," but this wasn't change. This was erasure. One Saturday, I came home from the grocery store and found her in the garage. She was going through boxes. What are you doing, Em? She jumped, startled. Oh. I didn't hear you come in. I was just clearing out some space. You've got so much stuff back here. Those are Henry's things. I know. That's why I thought, don't. My voice shook. Don't touch those. Her smile faded. Eleanor, I'm trying to help. Holding on to all this isn't healthy. It's not your decision. Maybe it should be. I stared at her. Excuse me? She sighed like I was exhausting her. Look, I get it. Losing Henry was hard. But keeping all his stuff isn't bringing him back. You need to move forward, get out of my garage. Eleanor. Now, she left. But not before giving me a look that said, "You're being unreasonable." That evening, Erin called. "Mom, Claire's upset. She said you yelled at her. She was going through your father's things. She was trying to help you let go." "I don't need her help." Erin was quiet for a moment. "Mom, you're holding on too tight. It's not good for you." "She's taking over my life, Erin. She's trying to make things easier." "Why can't you see that?" "Because it doesn't feel easier." I wanted to scream. "It feels like I'm disappearing," but I didn't say that. I just said, "I'm tired. I'll talk to you later." I hung up. A week later, I walked into the living room and froze. Henry's rocking chair was gone. The one from the front porch. The one he built himself. The one I'd sit in every evening with my tea. "Where's the rocking chair?" Claire looked up from her phone. "Oh, that rickety thing? It was falling apart, Eleanor. Honestly, it was unsafe. You could have gotten hurt." "Where is it?" "I had it hauled away." "You'll thank me later." Erin walked in. "She's just trying to help, Mom." That phrase. Again, she's just trying to help. I looked at my son. At the man who used to defend me. Who used to ask what I wanted before changing anything. Now he just nodded along. Smiled. Agreed. She's just trying to help. I bit my tongue so hard I tasted blood, but inside, I was screaming. Every time Claire moved something, it felt like she was rewriting my life. One object at a time. One decision at a time. One signature at a time, and I was running out of things to lose. A year passed. I learned to keep my mouth shut. Learned to smile when Claire rearranged things. Learned to pretend I didn't notice pieces of Henry disappearing from my own house. Then she came over with papers. It was a Thursday. She had her laptop bag and that smile she wore when she wanted something. "Eleanor, I need you to sign something real quick." I looked up from my tea. "What is it?" "Just property tax stuff. We're setting it up so it comes straight from Erin's account. Easier for everyone. I've been paying my property taxes for 30 years, I know, but you don't need to anymore. We'll handle it. You won't have to think about it." She slid the papers across the table. 3 pages. Small print. What exactly am I signing? Just authorization for automatic payment. That's it. She tapped the line at the bottom. Right here. I hesitated. "Eleanor, do you not trust me?" The way she said it made me feel guilty. Like I was being paranoid. Like I was the problem. I picked up the pen. "You'll thank me later," she said. I signed. She left 10 minutes later, papers tucked neatly in her bag, smile still perfect. I should have read them. I should have asked questions. I should have called someone, but I trusted her. I trusted him. 2 months later, the letter came. I was sorting mail when I saw it. Official envelope. County seal. I'm almost threw it away thinking it was junk, but something made me open it. Notice of ownership transferred. I read the words 3 times before they made sense. Henry's riverfront plot. The 5 acres he bought before Erin was born. The land we always said would be Erin's someday. My name was gone, transferred to Claire Bennington Wright. The room tilted. I sat down hard in the kitchen chair. My hands shook as I read it again. Transfer date, 6 weeks ago. Authorized signature. Mind, I felt dizzy. Sick. Like the floor had opened up under me. That land was supposed to be Erin's. His inheritance. His future. Henry bought it with money he saved for 10 years. He used to take Erin fishing there when he was little. "This is yours someday, buddy," he'd say. "Take care of it." Now it was Claire's. I grabbed my phone. Dialed Erin. "Mom? What's wrong?" "The riverfront property." "Did you know about this?" "Know about what?" Claire transferred it into her name. Silence. "Erin, there must be a mistake. It's right here in writing. Official transfer." My signature. "Mom, Claire wouldn't do that." Those words hit me like a slap. "Erin, I'm looking at the document. Let me talk to her. I'm sure there's an explanation. I want an explanation now." "Mom, calm down. You're getting worked up over nothing. This isn't nothing. I'll call you back. He hung up. I sat there holding the phone, staring at the letter. This wasn't a mistake. This was planned. The next morning, Claire showed up at my door. No call. No warning. Just that smile. Eleanor, Aaron said you're upset. Upset? You stole my land. I didn't steal anything. She walked past me into the house like she owned it. Can we sit? No. Explain, she sighed. Pulled papers from her purse. Set them on the counter. It was a joint adjustment. Standard legal stuff. The land is still in the family. It's in your name. Same thing. It's not the same thing at all. She looked at me like I was a child struggling with simple math. Eleanor, this is about tax efficiency. Aaron and I are married. What's mine is his. What's his is mine. The land is still going to Aaron eventually. Then why isn't it in his name? Because I handle our finances. I handle our properties. This way everything is streamlined. That land was Henry's, and now it's being managed properly. The way she said properly made my blood boil. I want it back. You can't just want it back. You signed the transfer. It's legal. You tricked me. Her smile vanished. I explained everything when you signed. If you didn't bother to read it, that's not my fault. You told me it was for property taxes. It was. Among other things, you lied. I simplified. There's a difference. She picked up her purse. Look, I don't have time for this. The transfer is done. Legal. Final. If you want to be angry about your own choices, that's your business. She walked toward the door, then stopped. Oh, and Eleanor? Maybe next time actually read what you're signing. The door closed softly behind her. I stood there, shaking. That hollow feeling in my stomach had been right. I'd wanted to believe her. Wanted to believe this was all innocent. That she really was just helping, but she wasn't helping, she was taking. That afternoon, I went to the bank. Asked for copies of everything I'd signed in the past year. They gave me a folder an inch thick. I took it home. Spread it across the kitchen table, and I started reading every single page, every single word. By the time the sun went down, I found 3 more transfers I didn't remember. Accounts I didn't recognize. Signatures that looked like mine but felt wronged. I called Aaron again. Mom, please. Not now. Did you know about the other transfers? What other transfers? The savings account. The investment fund. My health insurance. Silence. Aaron, answer me. Claire handles that stuff. I don't know the details. You don't know the details of your own mother's finances? She's better at this than I am. She's stealing from me. She's not. He stopped. Took a breath. Mom, you're seeing things that aren't there. You're getting paranoid. I'm looking at signed documents. Then you signed them. Claire wouldn't forge anything. I didn't know what I was signing. That's on you, Mom. The line went quiet. What did you just say? I'm sorry, but it's true. You can't sign things and then blame other people when you don't like the outcome. I hung up before I said something I couldn't take back. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing Claire's smile. Hearing her voice, you'll thank me later. I started keeping copies of everything after that day, every bill. Every letter. Every document. I locked them in a safe Henry installed years ago, because I knew now, this wasn't help, this was a takeover. And I was running out of time to stop. My 70th birthday fell on a Saturday. I didn't want a party. But Aaron insisted. Mom, 70 is a big deal. Let us do this for you. So I said yes. I spent the morning baking chocolate cake with buttercream frosting. My grandson Theo's favorite. Aaron and Claire arrived early to set up. She brought flowers. White roses. Not my favorite, but I didn't say anything. By 6, the house was full. Neighbors. Friends from church. Aaron's coworkers I'd never met. Claire moved through the room like a host. Refilling drinks. Directing conversations. Smiling that perfect smiled. I felt like a guest in my own home. Theo ran up and hugged my legs. Grandma, can we have cake now? Soon, sweetheart. Aaron clinked his glass. Everyone, can I have your attention? The room went quiet. I just want to say thank you all for coming. My mom has been through a lot these past few years, and it means the world to have you here celebrating with her." People smiled. A few nodded, then Claire stood, raised her glass, "And I'd like to add something, if I may." Erin gestured for her to continue. Proud. Like she was about to say something wonderful. "Here's to family," Claire said, her voice bright and clear. "And to new beginnings." She looked right at me. Mother Wright finally agreed to let us manage her estate. It's such a relief for everyone. The room erupted in polite applause. I froze. My hand tightened around my fork. "What?" The word barely came out. Claire's smile didn't falter. "Oh, don't be modest, Eleanor. You signed the papers last month. Remember?" "I never." "Of course you did, dear." She turned to the guests. "She's been so stressed handling everything alone. But now Erin and I can take care of it all. Give her the peace she deserves." More applause. Erin beamed. And I sat there, frozen, while my life was announced like a done deal to a room full of strangers. "I didn't agree to that," I said louder. A few people glanced at me. "Uncomfortable." Claire laughed lightly. "Eleanor, you're being silly. We went over this." "No. We didn't." The room shifted. People looked away, sipped their drinks, suddenly very interested in the wallpaper. Erin stepped forward, put his hand on my shoulder. "Mom, not now. Let's just enjoy the party." I looked up at him. At my son. The boy I raised. The man I thought I knew. "Erin, I didn't agree to this." His jaw tightened. "You signed the papers." "I didn't know what they were." "That's not my fault." My chest felt tight. "What did you just say?" He glanced at Claire, then back at me. And his face changed. Harder. Colder. "Mom, you've been complaining for months. About Claire helping. About us managing things. About everything." He shook his head. "My wife only put you in your place so you'd finally stop." The room went silent, not the polite kind. The suffocating kind. I stared at him. "Put me in my place." His words echoed in my head. My own son. Standing in my living room. On my birthday. Defending the woman who was stealing my life. I could feel every eye in that room on me, watching. Waiting. I wanted to scream. Wanted to throw the cake. Wanted to grab him by the shoulders and shake him until he remembered who I was, but I didn't. I set down my fork carefully. Stood slowly. "Excuse me," I said quietly. I walked through the living room. Past the neighbors who looked away. Past the church friends who suddenly found their phones fascinating. Out the front door, onto the porch. The night air hit my face like cold water. I gripped the railing and tried to breathe. Behind me, the party continued. Laughter. Music. Like nothing had happened, like my son hadn't just humiliated me in front of everyone I knew. The stars were out. Bright and clear. Henry and I used to sit on this porch every night. He'd hold my hand and we'd watch the stars in silence. "You see that one?" he'd say, pointing. "That's us." "Which one?" "The bright one. The one that doesn't move." I used to think he was being romantic. Now I realized he meant something else. We were the constant. The steady thing. The foundation. But foundations can crack. The door opened behind me. "Mom?" I didn't turn around. Erin came and stood beside me. Hands in his pockets. Staring out at the yard. "You embarrassed me in there," he said. I laughed. Sharp and bitter. "I embarrassed you?" "Yeah. Claire was trying to do something nice and you made it weird. She announced she's taking my estate without asking me first." "She didn't take anything. We're managing it." "There's a difference." "Not to me." He sighed. Long and tired. Like I was exhausting him. "Mom, why can't you just let us help?" "Because you're not helping. You're taking over." "That's not true." "Isn't it?" I turned to face him. "When's the last time you asked what I wanted? When's the last time you listened when I said no?" He didn't answer. "You used to protect me, Erin. Now you're helping her erase me." "That's dramatic, is it? She's taken my furniture. My land. My accounts. And now my estate. What's left, Mom, and you just defended her. In front of everyone. You told them she put me in my place, his face flushed. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? Silence. You don't even know, do you? I shook my head. You've become someone I don't recognize. Maybe you're the one who's changed. The words hit like a slap. I looked at him. Really looked at him, and I realized something. I'd already lost him. Go back to your party, I said quietly. Mom, go. He hesitated. Then turned and walked back inside. The door closed. I stood there alone, gripping the railing, staring at the stars. My blood boiled. But I didn't show it, not yet, because showing anger would make me the problem. The difficult mother. The ungrateful woman who couldn't accept help. So I swallowed it down, but inside, I was done playing nice. Inside, I was ready to fight. For the first time, I wondered if the home Henry and I built could outlast this storm. But more than that, I wondered if I had the strength to save it. The answer came quicker than I expected. Yes, I did. The party ended around 10. I didn't go back inside. I sat on that porch until every car left. Until the lights went out. Until I heard Aaron and Claire's voices fade as they cleaned up. They didn't come looking for me. I slept in Henry's office that night. Couldn't face the bedroom. The next morning, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find Samuel standing there with 2 coffees and a bag of pastries. Henry's younger brother. 68 years old. Sharp eyes. Sharper mind. Heard you had a party last night, he said. Who told you? Martha from church. Said it got awkward. He held out a coffee. Figured you could use this. I took it. Let him inside. We sat at the kitchen table. The same table where Claire had made me sign those papers. Samuel bit into a croissant. Studied my face. What happened? It's nothing, Eleanor. His voice was gentle but firm. What happened? So I told him. Everything, the furniture. The bills. The land. The documents. Last night's announcement. Aaron's words. My wife put her in her place. Samuel's jaw tightened with every sentence. When I finished, he was quiet for a long time. Do you still have the documents? He finally asked. All of them. I've been keeping copies. Show me. I brought out the folder. The thick one from the bank. Plus the ones I'd locked in Henry's safe. Samuel spread them across the table, then he started reading, not skimming. Reading. Every single word. His face grew darker with each page. Eleanor, he said slowly. These transfers aren't casual. They're permanent. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? I mean, once these go through, getting them back would take years. Lawyers. Court battles. Money you probably don't have. I felt dizzy. So I just lose everything? He didn't answer right away. Just kept reading, then he stopped, tapped a line buried deep in the fine print of one document. Wait, what? He read it again. Then looked up at me, eyes sharp. This references Henry's estate. Specifically, so Henry was meticulous about legal stuff. Remember when he redid the will? I nodded. 5 years before he died. He'd spent weeks with lawyers. He told me something back then, Samuel said. He said he was adding protections. Just in case. In case of what? In case you ever needed them. My heart stuttered. What kind of protections? Samuel pulled out his phone. Started scrolling. I need to call someone. Old colleague of mine. He helped Henry with the estate planning. It's Sunday morning, he owes me a favor. Samuel stepped outside. I heard his voice through the window. Low and urgent. He came back 10 minutes later. He's checking his files. He'll call back in an hour. We waited. Samuel poured more coffee. Paced the kitchen. Kept reading the documents. I should have visited more, he said quietly. After Henry died. I should have checked on you. You did check on me. Not enough. He looked at me. I should have seen this coming. How could you? Because I knew Claire was trouble the day I met her. I blinked. You never said anything. You seemed happy that Aaron was happy. I didn't want to ruin it. He shook his head. I should have said something anyway. His phone rang. He answered immediately. Yeah. Uh-huh. You're sure? Okay. Can you send that to me? Yeah. Thanks. He hung up, looked at me with something I hadn't seen in weeks. Hope, Henry protected you, he said. What? Samuel sat down. Slid the document toward me. Pointed to a clause I'd never noticed. See this? It's a trigger clause. Henry wrote it specifically in case you were ever coerced or manipulated into signing over assets I don't understand. It means if you sign anything under duress or misrepresentation, everything automatically transfers into a protected trust. Under your control. Not there's my hands started shaking. Are you saying I'm saying Henry saw this coming? Maybe not Claire specifically. But he knew someone might try to take advantage of you after he was gone. So he built a trap. Samuel smiled. Small and grim. The more they take, the tighter it closes. And once it triggers, they lose everything they tried to steal. I stared at him. Can we prove I was coerced? Eleanor, you signed documents without knowing what they were. Claire lied about what they meant. That's textbook misrepresentation, but how do we? You've been keeping copies, right? Of everything? I nodded. Good. We'll need those. Plus witness statements. People who saw Claire pressuring you. Who heard her lie.my mind raced. The neighbors. They saw her throwing out Henry's things. Perfect. Anyone else? Martha from church. She was at the party last night. She saw what happened. Samuel pulled out a notepad. Started writing names. We'll need a lawyer. A good one. My colleague recommended someone. She specializes in elder financial abuse. Elder abuse? The words felt wrong in my mouth. That's what this is, Eleanor. Claire's been systematically taking control of your assets through manipulation and deceit. That's abuse. I'd never thought of it that way. But he was right. Samuel kept talking. Laying out a plan. Who to contact. What documents we'd need. How long it might take, but I wasn't really listening anymore. Because I could hear Henry's voice in my head. Clear as day. I told you I'd look after you, he'd said that the night before he died. We were in bed. He was tired. Weak. But he'd squeezed my hand and smiled. I made sure you're protected, he'd said. No matter what happens. You'll be okay. I thought he just meant the life insurance. The will, but he'd meant more than that. He'd built a failsafe. A way to fight back even after he was gone. Samuel's voice pulled me back. Eleanor? You with me? I looked at him. At Henry's brother. The man with his same sharp eyes and stubborn jaw. When do we start? He grinned. Right now. He made 3 calls that afternoon. By evening, we had a lawyer. By Monday morning, we had a strategy, and for the first time since Claire walked into my life, I didn't feel helpless, I felt dangerous. Because Henry had given me a weapon, and I was about to use it. That night, I stood in the bedroom Henry and I shared for 40 years, looked at his photo on the nightstand. You sneaky man, I whispered. I swear I heard him laugh. Claire thought she'd won, Aaron thought it was over, but they didn't know what was coming. I did, and I couldn't wait to see their faces when they realized Henry wasn't done protecting me yet. Samuel's lawyer arrived Tuesday morning. Her name was Rita Valdez. 50-something. Gray suit. No-nonsense handshake. She sat at my kitchen table and read through everything. Took her almost 2 hours. Finally, she looked up. Mrs. Right, your husband was a very smart man, I know. No, I mean exceptionally smart. She tapped the documents. This clause he wrote? It's elegant. Ironclad. And absolutely brutal. Explain it to me like I'm 5, I said. She smiled. If you sign anything under duress or misrepresentation, meaning you were lied to, pressured, or tricked, everything automatically transfers into a charitable trust. What does that mean? It means the house, the land, the accounts, all of it goes into a trust that you control. Not Aaron. Not Claire. My heart pounded. So they lose everything? They lose everything they tried to take. The moment the scheme succeeds, it collapses. Samuel leaned forward. It's a trap. Exactly. Valdez pulled out a highlighter. Started marking sections. Your husband built this knowing someone might try to exploit you after he was gone. He made it so their greed would be their own undoing. I felt tears prick my eyes. How do we trigger it? We prove you were coerced. And we have plenty of evidence for that. She gestured to the pile of documents, forged explanations. Lies about what you were signing. Witnesses who saw Claire throwing out your belongings without permission. The birthday announcement where she claimed you'd agreed to something you hadn't. Will that be enough? More than enough. But we need to be strategic. Valdez folded her hands. We can't tip them off. If Claire realizes what's happening, she'll try to undo the transfers before the clause triggers. So what do? You play along. Act normal. Let her think she's won. Samuel nodded. Can you do that, Eleanor? I thought about Aaron's words. My wife put her in her place. I thought about Claire's smile as she took piece after piece of Henry's memory. Yes, I said. I can do that. For the next 3 weeks, I became an actress. Claire called to check in. I was pleasant. She stopped by with more papers? I signed them without complaint. She suggested selling Henry's old truck. I said, whatever you think is best. Aaron visited once. Barely looked at me. How are you, Mom? Fine, sweetheart, good. That's good. He left after 20 minutes. Meanwhile, Samuel and I worked behind the scenes. We gathered statements from neighbors. Mrs. Patterson next door remembered Claire loading furniture into a truck. I asked if Eleanor knew. She said. Claire told me it was junk. But I saw Eleanor's face later. She didn't know. Mr. Cho across the street saw Claire going through the garage. She was throwing things away. Eleanor came home and looked devastated. I felt bad, but I didn't want to interfere. Martha from church remembered the birthday party. The way that woman announced she was taking over Eleanor's estate? In front of everyone? It was cruel. Eleanor looked blindsided. We collected receipts showing Claire had sold Henry's belongings without my consent. We pulled bank records showing withdrawals I never authorized. We found emails where Claire told Aaron, your mother doesn't need to know the details. Just get her to sign. Every piece of evidence went into a folder, and every day, the trap got tighter. Valdez filed the paperwork quietly. No fanfare. No announcements, just legal documents submitted to the right offices at the right times. How long until it triggers? I asked. Once we prove coercion, the clause activates automatically. Could be days. Could be weeks. Depends on how fast the court moves, and they won't know, not until it's done. One evening, Claire stopped by unannounced. Eleanor, I wanted to talk to you about something exciting. I made tea. Sat down like nothing was wrong. What is it? Aaron and I are expanding our business. We're buying another property. Flipping it. That's wonderful. We were thinking. She paused. Smiled. We could use the equity from your house to help with the down payment. My hand tightened around the teacup. The equity from my house? Well, technically it's all connected now. Family assets. What's yours is ours, remember? I wanted to throw the tea in her face. Instead, I smiled. Of course. Whatever you think is best. Her smile widened. I knew you'd understand. You're being so reasonable lately, Eleanor. It's really nice to see reasonable, like I'd finally learned my place. I just want Aaron to be happy, I said. He is. We both are. She sipped her tea. Things are finally the way they should be. I nodded. Kept smiling. Inside, I was screaming. But on the outside? Calm. Trusting. Harmless. After she left, I called Samuel. She wants to use my house equity for another property, let her try. Every move she makes just adds to the evidence. Samuel, what if this doesn't work? It'll work. Henry made sure of it. I hung up and sat in the dark living room. Stared at Henry's photo on the mantel. I hope you're right, I whispered. The paperwork moved through the system slowly. Valdez kept me updated. We're close. The judge is reviewing the evidence. Once he signs off, the clause triggers. How will we know? You'll know. A week later, Aaron called. Mom, can I come by? Of course. He arrived an hour later. Sat on the couch. Looked uncomfortable. I wanted to say I'm sorry. About the party. About what I said. My heart lifted. Just a little. I appreciate that. Claire told me I was too harsh. She's right. You're my mom. I shouldn't have. He stopped. I'm sorry. I reached over. Touched his hand. I forgive you. He smiled. Relieved. Things are going to be better now. You'll see. Claire and we're going to take good care of everything, and just like that, the hope died. He wasn't apologizing because he understood. He was apologizing because Claire told him to. Because keeping me calm and compliant made their plan easier. I know you will, I said softly. He left feeling good about himself. I sat there feeling nothing. That night, Valdez called. It's done. The judge signed the order. The clause triggers tomorrow morning at 9. My breath caught. Tomorrow? Tomorrow. By noon, every asset will transfer into the trust. They'll get legal notices by end of day. What do? Nothing. Just wait. And when they call, don't answer. Let them panic. Let them realize what they've lost. I didn't sleep that night, just sat at the kitchen table. Watching the clock. At 8:45 a.m., I made coffee. A courthouse, the trap Henry built finally sprung shut. At 9:07 a.m., my phone rang. Claire. I didn't answer. At 9:15 a.m., Aaron called. I let it go to voicemail. At 9:30 a.m., someone knocked on my door. Hard. Urgent. I looked through the peephole. Claire. Face pale. Eyes wild. I opened the door slowly. Good morning, Claire. What did you do? Her voice shook. I'm sorry, don't play games with me, Eleanor. What did you do? I smiled. Calm. Serene, the way she always smiled at me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Would you like some tea? Her hands trembled as she held up her phone. This says everything transferred into a trust. How is that possible? Oh, I said lightly. That must be Henry's clause. What clause? The one he wrote to protect me. In case anyone tried to take advantage. The color drained from her face. You knew? Not at first. But yes. Eventually, behind her, a car screeched into the driveway. Aaron jumped out. Ran toward us. Mom, what's happening? Why are we getting legal notices? I stepped aside. Let them both see my face clearly, and I let the smile drop. You tried to take everything, I said quietly. And Henry made sure you'd lose it all the moment you succeeded. Claire's perfect composure shattered. Aaron looked between us, lost, and I realized something. Justice doesn't have to shout. Sometimes it just waits. Quiet and patient until the trap finally closes. The confrontation on my doorstep lasted about 3 minutes, then Claire left. Fast. Tires squealing. Aaron stayed. He stood in my driveway, staring at the legal notice in his hands like it was written in a foreign language. Mom. His voice cracked. What is this? Come inside. No. Explain it to me right here. I stepped onto the porch. Crossed my arms. Henry protected me. He knew someone might try to take advantage after he died. So he built a safeguard. A safeguard? A clause that triggers if I'm coerced into signing away my assets. When it activates, everything transfers into a trust. Under my control. Aaron's face went red. You knew about this? Not at first. When? 3 weeks ago. Samuel found it. 3 weeks? He looked betrayed. You've been lying to us for 3 weeks. I've been protecting myself. By tricking us? I stepped closer. No, Aaron. By letting you finish what you started. His mouth opened. Closed. Every document Claire had me sign. Every lie she told. Every time she said just one more paper. That was all evidence. Evidence of what? Elder financial abuse. Coercion. Fraud. The word hung in the air. Aaron shook his head. That's insane. Claire was helping you, was she? Or was she stealing from me piece by piece while you watched? She wouldn't. She took the riverfront land, Aaron. The land your father bought for you. She put it in her name and told me it was for taxes. His face flickered. Doubt. She sold your father's rocking chair. His recliner. His truck. Without asking. She threw away his clothes, his books, his tools. Those were just things. They were his memory. My voice rose. And she erased them like they meant nothing. Aaron looked away. And you let her, I said quietly. You stood there at my birthday party and told everyone she put me in my place. His jaw tightened. So no, Aaron. I didn't trick you. I just stopped letting you trick me. He stood there. Silent. Shaking. Then he turned and walked to his car. Didn't say goodbye, just left. I went back inside. Samuel was standing in the hallway with Valdez. That was brutal, Samuel said. It needed to be. Valdez set her briefcase on the table. We should talk about next steps. What happens now? Now we wait. Claire will likely try to contest the transfer. She'll claim she didn't know what she was doing. That it was all a misunderstanding. Will that work? Not with the evidence we have. But she'll try. Samuel poured coffee for all three of us. What about Aaron? What about him? He's your son, Eleanor. Eventually, you'll have to deal with that. I sipped the coffee. Bitter and strong. Right now, I don't have a son. I have someone who chose his wife over his mother. Who humiliated me in front of my friends. Who helped steal my life. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake, Samuel. This was a choice. He didn't argue. 2 days later, a letter arrived. From Claire's lawyer, formal. Cold. Demanding the trust be dissolved and assets returned. I called Valdez. Ignore it, she said. It's a bluff. She has no legal standing. You're sure? Positive. She signed documents claiming she understood what she was doing. She told witnesses she was managing your estate. She can't claim ignorance now. Another week passed, then another letter. This one from Aaron. Handwritten. Mom. I don't know what to say. Claire is furious. She says you set us up. That you knew what you were doing the whole time. Was that true? Were you planning this from the start? Asterisk. Asterisk. I thought we were helping you. I thought we were doing the right thing. Asterisk. Asterisk. Claire says we should fight this. Get lawyers. Contest the trust, but I don't know anymore. Asterisk. I don't know what's real. Asterisk. Aaron, I read it 3 times. Then I folded it and put it in a drawer. I didn't respond. A week later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Eleanor Wright, speaking. This is Monica Pierce with Henderson and Associates. I represent Claire Bennington Wright. I have a lawyer. I understand. I'm calling as a courtesy. My client would like to propose a settlement. A settlement? She's willing to drop all claims against the trust in exchange for the return of certain assets. Specifically, the riverfront property and half the home equity. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Tell your client no. Mrs. Wright, I'd encourage you to consider no. She tried to steal everything. She gets nothing. This could drag on for months. Years. Legal fees alone, I don't care. Tell her no. I hung up. Samuel called an hour later. Did Claire's lawyer contact you? Yes. They wanted a settlement. What did you say? No. He laughed. Good. They're scared, Eleanor. If they weren't, they wouldn't be offering deals. How long until this is over? Could be weeks. Could be months. But we'll win. Henry made sure of it. That night, I sat on the porch, the stars were out. Same stars Henry and I used to watch. I thought about Aaron's letter. I don't know what's real. Part of me wanted to call him. Wanted to explain. Wanted to fix it. But the bigger part, the part that had been humiliated and stolen from and dismissed, didn't want to fix anything because he'd made his choice. And I'd made mine. 3 weeks later, I got a call from Valdez. It's over. My heart stopped. What? Claire dropped the lawsuit. Her lawyer filed withdrawal papers this morning. Why? Because we had her dead to rights. She knew if this went to trial, she'd lose everything. Reputation. Career. Maybe even face criminal charges. I sat down. Hard. So it's done? It's done. The trust stands. Everything Henry protected is yours. Claire gets nothing. I closed my eyes. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank your husband. He's the one who built the trap. After I hung up, I walked to the bedroom, picked up Henry's photo. You did it, I whispered. You saved me. I swear I felt his hand on my shoulder. That afternoon, Samuel came over with a bottle of wine. We won. We won. We sat on the porch. Sipped wine. Watched the sunset. What now? Samuel asked. Now I live my life. The way Henry wanted. The way I want. What about Aaron? I was quiet for a long time. I don't know. Maybe someday. But not today. Samuel nodded. Didn't push it. We sat there until the stars came out, and for the first time in 2 years, I felt at peace, not because I'd won, but because I'd fought back, because I'd refused to disappear, because Henry had loved me enough to protect me even after he was gone, and because sometimes, justice doesn't need to shout, sometimes it just needs to wait. Quiet and patient. Until the trap finally closes. And when it does, it closes completely. #. The news spread fast. Small town. Big gossip. By the end of the week, everyone knew Claire had tried to steal my estate. That she'd been caught. That she'd lost everything. Martha called from church. Eleanor, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner. It's okay. No, it's not. We all saw how she treated you. We should have spoken up. People apologized. Sent cards. Brought casseroles. Like I was recovering from surgery instead of betrayal. I accepted it all gracefully. But inside, I wondered where they'd been when I needed them. 2 weeks after the lawsuit ended, I got a call from Samuel. You're going to want to hear this. What? Claire got fired. I sat down. What? Her real estate firm found out about the forged documents. The misrepresentation. They let her go this morning. How do you know? Office gossip travels. Plus, it's public record now. Anyone who Googles her name will find the case. Her pristine reputation. The one she'd built so carefully. Gone. What about Aaron? Samuel was quiet. He's still with her. My chest tightened. Even after everything, for now. But I don't think it'll last. I didn't respond. Eleanor, he made his choice. You can't save him from it. I know, but knowing didn't make it hurt less. 3 weeks later, Aaron showed up. No call. No warning. I was in the garden when his car pulled up. He got out slowly. Looked older. Tired, Mom. I set down the trowel. Wiped my hands on my jeans. Aaron, can we talk? I almost said no. Almost told him to leave, but I didn't. Okay. We went inside. I made coffee. He sat at the kitchen table, the same table where Henry used to read the newspaper every morning, where we used to eat breakfast as a family. Aaron stared at his hands. I don't know how to start. Start anywhere. He took a breath. I was supposed to protect you. I didn't say anything. After Dad died, I told myself I'd take care of you. Make sure you were okay. That you weren't alone. His voice cracked. Instead, I nearly lost you everything. I poured the coffee. Set a cup in front of him. You didn't lose me everything. You tried. There's a difference. That doesn't make it better. No. It doesn't. He looked up. Eyes red. How did I not see it? See what? What she was doing? Who she was? He shook his head. I thought she was helping. I thought we were doing the right thing, did you? Or did you just want to believe that? He flinched. Aaron, every time I said no, you overruled me. Every time I questioned something, you told me I was being difficult. I know, you stood in this house and told a room full of people that your wife put me in my place. I know. His voice broke. I know, Mom. I hear it in my head every day. Silence. Why? I asked quietly. Why did you choose her over me? I don't know. He rubbed his face. I loved her. I thought she loved me. I thought we were building something together. You were. Just not what you thought. He nodded. Wiped his eyes. I filed for divorce. I stared at him. What? Last week. I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't look at her without seeing what she did. What I let her do. Where is she now? Her parents' place. 2 states away. He laughed bitterly. She left the day I served papers. Didn't even fight me on it. I'm sorry. Don't be. You were right about her. You were right about everything. I reached across the table. Touched his hand. You lost your way, Aaron. But you didn't lose your heart. He looked at me. Hope flickering in his eyes. Can you forgive me? I was quiet for a long time. Could I? Part of me wanted to say no. Wanted to make him suffer the way I'd suffered, but the bigger part, the part that was still his mother, couldn't do it. I can forgive one of those things, I said softly. Losing your way. That I can forgive, and the other, your heart? You didn't lose that. You just forgot where you left it. He cried then. Really cried, not angry tears. Not frustrated tears. The kind grown men cry when they're ashamed. When they realize what they've done and can't undo it. I got up. Walked around the table. Put my hand on his shoulder. He leaned into me like he used to when he was small. When the world was too big and I was the only safe place. I'm so sorry, Mom. I know. I'll spend the rest of my life making this up to you. You don't have to do that. Yes, I do. We stayed like that for a long time. When he finally pulled away, his face was blotchy and wet. Where do we go from here? He asked. I don't know. Forward, I guess. Can I visit regularly? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Yes. But not her. Not ever. She's gone, Mom. For good. He finished his coffee. Stood to leave. At the door, he turned back. Dad would be ashamed of me. Yes, I said honestly. He would. Aaron nodded. Swallowed hard, but he'd also be proud you came back, I added. That you're trying to fix it. You think so? I know so. He left. I watched his car pull away. Then I went back to the garden, the sun was setting, painting the sky orange and pink. Henry used to say sunsets were proof that endings could be beautiful. I didn't believe him then, but maybe I was starting to. That night, Samuel called, heard Aaron stopped by in News Travels Fast, small town. How'd it go? He apologized. Filed for divorce. Wants to visit regularly, and you said? Yes. To the visiting. Not to Claire, Samuel chuckled. Good. He needs to earn his way back. He will. Or he won't. Either way, I'll be okay. You sound different. I feel different. Good different? I looked around my living room. At the photos of Henry. At the furniture we picked out together. At the life we built, still standing. Still mine, yeah, I said. Good different. After I hung up, I made tea, sat on the porch. Watched the stars. The same stars Henry and I used to watch. We did it, I whispered. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked. A car passed, life going on. But this time, I was going on with it, not as a victim. Not as someone who'd been taken advantage of. But as someone who'd fought back and won. The distance between Aaron and me had started to close. Maybe it would fully heal. Maybe it wouldn't, but for the first time in 2 years, I believed it was possible. And that was enough. For now, that was enough. 2 years later, the house on Maple Hill still stood. Steadier than ever. I was on the porch swing when Aaron's car pulled up. Same time as always. Sunday after church, but this time, he wasn't alone. A woman got out of the passenger side. Dark hair. Soft smile. Carrying a pie. Aaron walked up first. Kissed my cheek. Mom, this is Lila. She stepped forward. Held out the pie. Mrs. Right, it's so nice to finally meet you. Aaron's told me so much about you. I took the pie. Still warm. Apple, your favorite, he said. I looked at Aaron. He nodded. Come in. We sat in the living room. The same room where Claire used to rearrange everything. But now it looked like mine again. Henry's recliner back in its spot. His books on the shelf. His photos on the mantel. Lila looked around with genuine interest. Not the calculating way Claire used to. What a beautiful home, she said. You can feel the love here. Something in my chest loosened. Thank you. Aaron made coffee. We talked for an hour. Lila worked as a teacher. 3rd grade. She loved her students but said they exhausted her. I don't know how you raised kids, she laughed. I barely survive 8 hours with them. You learn as you go. That's what Aaron says. She glanced at him. Warm. Easy. He's been teaching me a lot. I watched them together. The way she touched his hand. The way he looked at her, nothing like how he looked at Claire. This was different. Softer. Real. When they left, Lila hugged me. Thank you for having me. I hope I can come back. You can. Aaron lingered at the door. She's nice, right? She is. I'm doing it different this time, Mom. I'm paying attention. Listening. Not just going along with whatever sounds good. I can tell. He smiled. Relieved. I love you. I love you too. After they left, I sat on the porch swing, the one Henry built 40 years ago. I'd had it reinforced last spring. Some things, like love, are worth strengthening. Samuel came by later with groceries. Saw Aaron's car earlier. How'd it go? Good. He brought someone. The teacher, you knew, he told me last month. Wanted my opinion. Samuel set the bags on the counter. I told him she seemed like the opposite of Claire. He said that was the point. I smiled. He's learning. Slowly. But yes. We unpacked the groceries together. Samuel stayed for dinner. Afterward, we sat on the porch. Watched the sunset. You did good, Eleanor. I survived. There's a difference. No. You did more than survive. You fought back. You won. He looked at me. Henry would be proud. My throat tightened. You think so? I know so. That night, I couldn't sleep. I walked through the house, touching things, remembering this kitchen table, where Henry and I used to have coffee every morning, this couch, where we watched movies and fell asleep tangled together, this bedroom, where he held my hand the night before he died. Every room had a memory. And for the first time in years, those memories didn't hurt, they just were. Beautiful and painful in mine. The next Sunday, Aaron came back. With Lila again, and Theo, my grandson. 8 years old now. Growing so fast. Grandma! He ran up and hugged me. Hey, buddy. Want to help me bake cookies? Yeah, we spent the afternoon in the kitchen. Flour everywhere. Theo laughing as he tried to crack eggs. Lila helped. Quiet and kind. She didn't take over. Didn't try to fix things. Just followed my lead. When she set the table for dinner, she placed my seat first. At the head, where I belonged. Aaron noticed. Caught my eye across the room. I nodded. He'd chosen well this time. After dinner, Theo found a plaque Samuel had given me last year. It hung by the door. Simple wood. Engraved words, protection, by love and foresight. Grandma, what does this mean? I knelt down beside him. It means your grandpa loved me so much that he protected me even after he was gone. How he made sure no one could take away what we built together. This house. This family. This life. Theo thought about it. Like a superhero? I smiled. Exactly like a superhero. Cool. He ran off to play. Lila stood beside me. That's beautiful. It is. Aaron told me what happened. With Claire. With everything. I looked at her. He's ashamed, she said quietly. He carries it every day, I know, but he's trying. Really trying, I know that too. She touched my arm gently. Thank you. For giving him another chance. He's my son. I'll always give him chances. But I won't let him take advantage again. You shouldn't. We stood there in comfortable silence. Outside, the wind caught the old chime Henry hung decades ago. It sang its steady song, not angry anymore. Not sad, just peaceful. That night, after everyone left, I sat on the porch, looked at the stars. We did it, Henry, I whispered. We protected what we built. The wind chimed again. Like an answer. I closed my eyes. Felt his hand in mine. Even though it wasn't there. Real love doesn't need to shout to be strong. It protects quietly, even when we forget how, even when we're gone. Henry's love had saved me when I couldn't save myself, and now, 2 years later, I was finally whole again, not the same as before, but stronger, like the porch swing. Reinforced. Ready for years more. The house on Maple Hill still stood. The walls that once echoed with arguments now held only peace, and I sat in the middle of it all, grateful. Healed, and ready for whatever came next. Because I'd learned something through all of this. You can lose everything and still have yourself, you can be betrayed and still find forgiveness, you can fight back without losing your grace, and love, real love, never really leaves. It just waits, quiet and patient, until you need it most. If this story touched you, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another one. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever had someone you trusted try to take advantage of you? How did you handle it? Share this video with anyone who needs to hear that it's never too late to fight back. And remember, you're stronger than you think. Sometimes you just need to be reminded. I'll see you in the next story.